Hey, besties, welcome to the Multifaceted Mindset, the podcast for visionaries who refuse to live one dimensional lives. This is episode 4, and we'll be diving into why being delusional might be the most grounded thing you can be. I'm your host, Eternity Sledge, aka the Multifaceted Black Guide. I operate as a catalyst of transformation, embodying creativity, resilience, and purpose. If you're new here, we talk about designing a life you don't need a vacation from, which all starts with gratitude. Today, I am grateful for Black women. I am grateful for my heat press, and I am grateful for warm, fuzzy socks. I like to start with just defining what delusion means when I'm saying it in this context. Delusion to me is creating a reality that doesn't currently exist. So people are like, yeah, I'm Delulu, be Delulu, be Delulu. I know a lot of people may look at that and they're like, what? Like, these people are crazy. You're lying to yourself, all of those different things. But for me, it's envisioning a reality that doesn't currently exist, because it's harder for you to get to where you want to go if you don't know what that looks like, if you don't know what it takes to get there. So it's a part of the research is, what does that reality look like to me? How will I act? How would I dress? What time would I wake up? What would I be eating? All those different things. And so as a creative, we're often labeled as unrealistic anyway. A lot of people may downplay your idea when it first comes up or tell you that'll never work. But you as a creative, you have to understand that they don't know what they're talking about. Truth of the matter is, people are afraid. They're scared, and you're not. You're not scared to be different. You're not scared to be multifaceted. You're not scared to step away from societal's decision. Society makes a decision of what it wants, what things to look like, who everyone should be. And it causes a lot of people to conform. They're like, oh, I can't do ballet as a man because that's not what society expects me to do. That's not what society allows me to do. I can't work in trades as a woman. I can't be a welder because that's a man's job and I'm a woman. Who cares? As a creative, oftentimes when we have unrealistic ideas or ideas that other people just don't understand, they may be the best ideas ever. We probably are ahead of our time. We probably have come up with this idea that's super great, but it's not great for the right now people. It may be great for a couple of years from now people. But if we start building it now, by the time the people are ready, so the idea, it'll have matured. We'll have watered that seed so that it can grow into the fullness of what it's supposed to be. And so what happens when we don't address the fact that creatives are supposed to be a little the fact that creators are supposed to be a little unrealistic, we're supposed to be delusional, we begin to shrink our dreams. We begin to shrink them not just because of our doubts, but because we want to make other people uncomfortable. We want other people to feel like they are welcome in our space or that we aren't pushing them away, when in reality, they didn't think about making you comfortable when they told you your idea was bad or when they told you your idea was unrealistic. They didn't care about that. Really, they're pushing you away from what might be your $1 million idea, what might change your life. Even if it doesn't change your life, your idea might just be something that you're super passionate about, something that makes you smile. And so when you begin to shrink your dreams for them, it begins to affect you more than it ever affected them. They walked away and they may have not even given that conversation a second thought while you're sitting there with this idea that you're about to throw away. Don't throw your idea away. Even if you don't use it right away, that idea might be useful later. We aren't shrinking our dreams and no more. We ain't shrinking our dreams to make other people comfortable. Another thing is, you might abandon your vision too early. Like I said, your idea that you had may not be for the right now. It may be for later. It may be for 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. It may be for 5 months down the road. But if you jump ship now, you won't even give that vision a chance to mature. You won't even give it an opportunity to be useful for you then. We aren't abandoning our visions too early. Another thing is trading your imagination for approval. Something that I'm seeing way too often now is people beginning to all act the same, all look the same, all dress the same, all want the same body, the same life, the same kitchen counter, the same shoes, the same shirt, the same jewelry, the same hairstyle. People are no longer being themselves. Who are you? We are becoming robots. I know that it has a lot to do with these phones. These phones kind of take away from our creativity because we're becoming consumers more than we are creators. And it's messing with our imagination. SpongeBob said, imagination. And it's not a lot of people out here using that anymore. Being creative, being delusional is the key to staying grounded to who you are. When we were kids, we would go free paint and we take our little fingers and scribble over paper and look, mommy, look what I made. And you'll be so excited about what you created. And your mom's looking at it like, this ain't nothing. But she's not going to tell you that because this is your delusion. In your head, that might have been the Mona Lisa. And if it was the Mona Lisa to you, it's the Mona Lisa to your mama too, because she loves you. And that nurture of your potential right there is what helps you soar. That person might have came up and eventually may have become a great artist just because when you were little, your mom poured into your imagination. She loved it and nurtured it. So we can't continue to trade our imagination for approval because we want to be accepted. We want people to look at us and be like, oh my gosh, yes, I love that outfit. I was just looking at that outfit. Me? I don't ever want you to be able to wear what I'm wearing. And that's why I bought me a heat press. I bought me a Cricut so I could start making my own clothes. If you're wearing what I'm wearing, I want it to be because you bought it from me. Because I sold it to you. That's my imagination. I came up with this design. I saw it in my head and I created it. I brought it to real life. That's delusion. That's my delusion. So if we're reframing, we're shifting our mindset. Delusion isn't some wild term. The clinical definition of delusion is not the same as the delusion I'm defining here. So we ain't talking about the clinical definition right now. We ain't talking about the legitimate definition. We're talking about the definition in this context of being glad, gratitude, logistics, audacity, delusion. That delusion is the belief before the evidence. Delusion is belief before evidence. Again, like I said, it's creating a reality that doesn't currently exist. If you believe that that's what you want, you believe that that's what you want to make happen, and then you put the work in, you can get that evidence. You'll make that evidence occur. There's a lot of really wealthy people out here who were not always wealthy. At some point, they were probably living in their trucks. They may have been homeless. They may have been dancing in a club or something. They were living a completely different life, but they had a little delusion. They knew they were meant for more than that. They knew that something bigger was going to come out of the situation that they were in now. And so they did the work. They went through what they had to in order to get to where they wanted to be, not to stay where they were at that moment. Every innovation started as something unrealistic. You think when they came up with Netflix and they were like, you know what, we're going to ship these movies to people's houses. Somebody probably looked at him crazy like, why would you give that movie to people? They're not going to give it back. You're going to just waste your money. And the man who created Netflix, he didn't listen to them. And if he did, we don't know that he listened to them. Because look at Netflix now. Now Netflix is a huge streaming platform. A whole bunch of us are watching it. It transformed and it grew. They're no longer mailing the movies to you, but that was something that seemed unrealistic at first. That was something that nobody else was doing. It was a belief before it was evidence. So as a creative, what can you do when you're being unrealistic? You being delulu. And the people around you are like, you sound crazy. What are you talking about? You can protect your vision. Protect your vision. And a couple of ways to protect it is to limit who you share it with. And when I say that, it doesn't mean hold on to it and just hold on it to yourself and only keep it with you. A lot of the people around you in your social support system, you may know them a little bit better than you know a stranger. So you know who you can come to with certain things. Or maybe you just ask them questions that isn't giving them your vision, but it's helping you answer questions about it. It's you doing your customer research. Maybe drop something. Like if you wanted to start a social club, drop something like, hey, how would you like to go to a sip and paint with other Black women? Like if I found a sip and paint, would you go with me? Whole time you're the one curating the sip and paint, but now you know whether or not that's something they'll be interested in. Or, oh my gosh, you know what would be a crazy idea if somebody did da 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 da. And now you're getting without telling them it was without telling them it was fully your vision. So that's one way you can limit it. You can also just not tell too many people. Tell only the people who need to know to help you execute. The people who can help you think and execute. Maybe the only ones that you share it with. And that works as well. Another is to anchor your beliefs internally. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you stand for. What are your values? If you know and understand who you are, you like, love, and trust yourself, no matter what anybody says, you can stand on business about your idea. You can stand on business about your creativity because you know you and you trust yourself. So if that idea came to you, you know it came to you for a reason. So anchoring your beliefs internally. The last practice I'm going to mention today is choosing daily actions that match the future you see So that's your L and your A in the GLAD framework. We have gratitude, logistics, audacity, delusion. L and A, logistics and audacity. The logistics is you outlining the steps that you need to take, and the audacity is you actually taking those steps. So let's figure out what your delusion is, and then what's a little step you can take each day in order to get to that, in order to begin matching that future, in order to begin making that belief become evident. Now it's time to learn out loud. I said we learning out loud. This week on Learning Out Loud, we have our book of the month, which is actually a series this time. It is the Danger series by India Carter. It's a 3-book series. The first book is Tempted by Danger, and then we have Captivated by Danger and Intrigued by Danger. So we have 3-book series. It follows this wealthy Black family, the Danger family. There's 5 siblings. The ones that are talked about in the book is Diamond, Diesel, and Declan. And it just explores their development as characters and their relationship issues and their relationship ups and downs, what they go through as men from a wealthy Black family trying to date within the lifestyle that they live. And my favorite part of the book was really seeing how each character developed and how they were all so similar but so different. Personally, my favorite is the 3rd book. So if y'all want to discuss it, feel free to let me know how you feeling about the books in the comments. But I really like the 3rd book because I feel like that character, I'm not going to drop any spoilers, but I feel like that character's development was the best arc of all. The first 2 books were great, but that 3rd one really took it over the edge for me. I really loved India Carter's writing. I listened to it as an audiobook rather than reading the physical book. So it was great to be able to step into this world that she created. A lot of the books are rooted in Citrus Grove, which they described as this really small town that grows oranges and lemons, and it's super safe to the point people don't even have cars, and if they do have cars, they leave their keys in the car, versus the other plot, which is in New York, and it's a bustling city, and there's always people everywhere, and there's a lot of people on feet, there's a lot of traffic, there's always a lot going on. So it was really great to see the duality of how these characters existed in these different spaces and these different settings, and how they grew within their relationship, and especially with them being a wealthy Black family. I really enjoyed listening to all 3 of them on audiobook. I finished each book within 2 days, so that's my rating. I obviously give it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed these books. The second one didn't hit for me as good, not because of the writing, just because I couldn't relate to the characters as much, but the 3rd book was really, really good. So that was the Danger series by India Carter. If you have any book recommendations or any books you think I should read, please let me know. I love to check out some book recommendations from other people. But yeah, that is our Learning Out Loud segment for this week's episode. Be sure to follow, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Sincerely, Multifaceted Black Guy.